kind of out of nowhere hit that became a zombie. And don't give me this. It's not zombies. It's people with the rage fires. It's zombies. 28 days later with Cillian Murphy, who's now kind of tearing up. They did a sequel to it 28 weeks later with a dude from the Full Monty. What was his name?
I can't remember, but he's also in Train Spotting. I'll look it up. He was in
Train Spotting. He was in the Stargate show, and I completely forget his name, but he starred in the second one. Well, for many years there were talks about
Carlyle.
What's that?
Robert Carlyle.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, that.
For many years, they talked about the idea of them doing a 28 months later. That never came to fruition. But now, apparently, 28 years later,
boom,
that's happening. The folks over at IGN writing this, 28 years later in development, sequel to beloved zombie classic, and it could happen as a trilogy. And apparently Danny Boyle and Alex Garland are working on them.
Nice.
Together. They wrote this, more than 20 years after its original release, 28 Days Later appears to finally be in line for a sequel. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, who directed the original 28 Days Later, are teaming up to make 28 Years Later. If it's successful, it could even lead into the start of a trilogy. Now, what they're saying is that Danny Boyle, who I believe has an Oscar on his mantle, would direct the first one. Garland would write the script for the three, and then either Garland would direct the second or third, and Boyle would direct maybe one more or just produce the rest of them, whatever. A lot of times when reports come out about movies to franchises that are now getting kind of long in the tooth and older, I'll say, I think it's a little bit too late for this. But 28 Days Later is still on the lips of a lot of horror fans. People loved that movie. I liked the second one too. I didn't think 28 Weeks was quite as good as 28 Days Later, but I absolutely acknowledge that this is something that fans completely adore. They completely love. It's still talked about as an instant classic. And the fact that the idea of coming back with another one with the originators, with guys with Oscars and nominations, and a lot of cred in the business coming back to do it again, I think this is something that will absolutely work. And I think the audience will be, this isn't going to be a $900 million movie or something like that, but you make this movie for like $70 million, this movie can make $400 million. 100%. I believe this movie can make $400 million, be very profitable for them. And if they have visions of making it into like a trilogy, God bless them. Now, for those of you who saw the first two, you kind of thought, well, they solved the problem after the first one, you thought. Then the problem re-emerges in the second one. And of course, that little tag at the end shows that the problem is now bigger than it's ever been. So what happens in the subsequent 28 years? Did it make its way over to North America? Who knows? We'll find out. But this is one of those situations where I think this is actually a really good idea, and I think the audience and the fans will be there for this. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, MasterClass. Everyone, it's a new year, so picture that thing that you've always wanted to learn. Now, picture learning it from a person who's literally one of the best in the world at it, and that's what you get with MasterClass. This year, learn from the best to become your best with MasterClass. Don't just talk about improving, MasterClass helps you actually do it. Because MasterClass offers over 180 world-class instructors, so whether you want to master negotiation with Chris Voss, like I did, think like a boss with Martha Stewart, or learn the art of storytelling from the man himself, Neil Gaiman, MasterClass has you covered. Because with MasterClass, you get unlimited access to intimate one-on-one classes with the world's best. At MasterClass, there are over 200 classes to pick from, with new classes being added every month. And if you're a viewer of the John Campea Show, you probably love movie making, storytelling, television. So you would be totally interested in things like screenwriting from Aaron Sorkin, learn developing original TV series from Stranger Things' The Duffer Brothers, or maybe you like the music side of movies, well, you can learn film scoring from Hans Zimmer. And right now, our listeners will get an additional 15% off an annual membership at masterclass.com/Campea. Get 15% off right now at masterclass.com/Campea. masterclass.com/Campea. Chris, you heard word about this? Right move, wrong move? How do you see it?
Oh, this is a move that doesn't involve me in any way, shape, or form. I'm very much Pamela Beasley on this one. I kept watching it and waiting for Sandra Bullock to show up.
Why?
Yeah, different one.
It's a very different movie.
That's a very different movie.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
it.
yeah. I watched part of 28 Days Later, and again, this is not my genre, so I went nope. But if people are here for it, I'm here for it. Got nothing really else to say about it. Sorry.
I wonder if Jeremy Renner will make a return.
Oh, Jeremy Renner. I
know
hope
what
you do
I'll do?
whatever
No,
you want.
if you saw the
Oh.
Yeah.
second one,
Oh, he
no,
didn't-
he does not return.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
No returning for Jeremy Renner.
More time to renovate houses.
I think all these
Renovations.
I think all these zombies are after these Stanley.
Oh, they're not zombies, Ray. They're it's actually a never mind.
These Stanley tumblers that everyone's going crazy for. I remember I liked the first 28 Days Later. I don't remember if I watched the second one. I probably did, and I don't know, but I really like the first one. That's all I can say.
You know,
about
it is
It's
funny.
been so long that
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's been
It
28
is funny
years.
how many people I've talked to that have said that exact same thing. Oh yeah, I remember 28 Days Later. I can't remember if I saw the second one. That was very popular one.
I didn't even know there was a second one when you guys said 28 weeks later. I was like, oh yeah, there was that one.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anything.
But they
about it.
never got around. And I kind of like the idea of, I've already seen some people online complain that they should be properly doing it 28 months later. But the reality is, how long has it been since the first one came out?
Oh wow.
I mean,
the first? Okay, let me look
I
that up.
think we're in the 2 decades range now. I think we're close to 20 years. What was the release date of the first 28 Days Later?
We got 2002.
2000, yeah, so we're over 20 years since. So you know what? Yeah, 28 years later. Now the question becomes, I don't think they ever said what happened to Cillian Murphy's character from the first one in the second movie. Like, he survives the first one, if I remember it all correctly.
Yep.
I don't think he's mentioned at all in the second one. So do you,
Oh.
with Cillian Murphy maybe coming off an Oscar win for Oppenheimer, do you try to get him back in it?
I mean,
Y-
that would be very gracious of him.
Yeah, that would really be very.
Let me just put it that way.
Well,
Killian,
wasn't that
you
really-
just did Oppenheimer. What are you going to do next? Well, remember that zombie movie I did?
But wasn't that like his first lead movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't
it
they
was
do
one
it on
of the-
that?
his first
That's the
interest-
thing is, it could be a great thank you or like I could see him doing that, and that'd be really cool of him.
I mean, come on. That if you care about fans getting on your side, you going down and just doing this movie for them or whatever, for the love of this franchise, be great. I think it would be good. I mean, I remember my first introduction to him was Red Eye. That movie on the airplane.
Yep.
And I'm also, if anyone's listening that can make this happen, give me another 30 Days of Night, please.
Oh,
Because
Third
it always,
Days was so
because I
good.
think them two
Didn't
came
they
out.
do a straight to home video sequel to
Oh
it?
yeah, they did.
That I never did bother watching.
Oh,
By the way,
Josh Hutcherson is having or not Josh Hutcherson.
Hartnett.
Wait, Hartnett.
Josh
there we go.
Hartnett,
Josh
yeah.
Hartnett
Yep.
is having a
Also
bit of a
Oppenheimer,
comeback.
yeah.
well, thanks to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
But you brought up that Red Eye. I have, and you know, you guys know I did a documentary about movie trailers, and I don't think we mentioned this one, or maybe we did. Red Eye is one of the most deceptive bullshit trailers ever, which is too bad because it's a pretty good movie. But if you watch a trailer for Red Eye, you think it's a supernatural thriller that the devil is on the plane or something like that. And it's not. There's nothing supernatural about it. It's just a bad dude who's on.
a
No,
Regular guy.
we stuck with.
Was that
we-
Rachel McAdams that
Yeah.
was in that with them?
Yep.
Yeah,
Good
we stuck
Canadian
with
girl.
Drive. We
Stabbed
stuck
him
with
in
the
the
Drive
throat.
deception on that one.
Ah, yes. Anyway, all right. 28 years later is coming, guys. What do you think about it? I think it's a good move. Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.